Congratulations to third place at the Ironman World Champs 70.3 here in Lahti. How it feels for you back on the podium 4 years after third place in Nice?
Well, thank you. Firstly, thank you so much. Yeah, to be honest, I think it's been 4 years, as you say, and through that, I feel I've become obviously 4 years is a long time, and I'm a completely different person, completely different athlete, and approach the sport in a very different way now. And I'm just honestly overjoyed to see that the hard work, the commitment, the consistency that I've shown day in, day out over the past 4 years is kind of starting to pay off.
Yes, over the last 4 years you have had to deal with injuries and so on, and it was, I think, was a very tough time. When did you know today that it will be a good day for you?
Honestly, I think I've learned over the past 4 years that anything can happen and you just take every moment as it comes. I honestly didn't think I was going to be on the podium until I crossed the finish line. I was checking over my shoulder right until the final moment. But yeah, as you say, I think that's kind of, I've learned. I started lucky, if that makes sense, in my first few years in the sport. I was injury-free, I started late, and I didn't have problems. And then suddenly they seem to all come together, and it's just been a case of slowly working through each one. And yeah, I think it's just problem solving. I've found that professional sport can be. So yeah, I'm really happy to prove that the hard work is working.
Last week you raced in Singapore, very hot conditions. Today here in Lahti. What is better for you?
I'm not sure. I mean, both were very different races. I have to say today at 18K, I was like, damn it, why couldn't it have just been 18K and I'd be second place? But that's 70.3 racing and not the 100K distance. I think what's so cool is that I've proven that I can race in those hot, humid conditions, 30 degrees, 100% humidity in Singapore, and I can also race here. My hands were a bit cold on the bike, but other than that, it was lovely. It was like a very different racing scenario, but I'm very proud that I can push in both conditions. I think that's something that a year ago my body wouldn't have been able to do, and that, yeah, I've learned and I've adapted with time.
Today you was in the leading group after the swim, and then you was only girl who can bike a little bit with Taylor. What do you think about her performance on the bike?
Taylor's performance was unreal. I tried to stick with her for a bit, and my coach and I discussed what power numbers I could push, and I stuck with her for half an hour, and I was like, all right, that's the half an hour at that power that I've been allowed. And it's a triathlon at the end of the day. You got to run 21K off of it, and I knew that, so I guess you got to play your cards when you play them, and it was letting Taylor go. She's an absolute force, and it was so impressive to see her riding.
How difficult was the run with the hills?
I'll be honest, that final lift over before we turned right to the finish line, the third time I could have done without that. It was a hard run course. It was hard because it was very difficult to find your rhythm. It was always changing up, down, round, different surfaces. I think it made it interesting, and I'm proud that I could perform well, decently in that, and hold off runners who I think a year ago would have caught me, and I've just been working hard on that. So I'm really proud that I was able to push right until the end.
What do you think about the venue here? First time here, the Ironman World Champs in the Northern Hemisphere?
Oh, I think it's great that it's in Europe. So I think having the World Champs here is so cool. I've done well in Nice and here again, so I think Europe is my place. But I think Lathi they've been a phenomenal host city. Everyone's been so welcoming, and it was a wonderful course, a single loop bike, so we had no traffic at all and just us to ride completely closed roads, and then a really interesting run course. I think I've never raced on such a course that was literally made for a triathlon.
What's your next goals? in this season? You have something?
First goal is to have a good holiday, and then I think we'll rediscuss it with my team and decide on what the focus will be for the last few months of this year.
So, thanks a lot, Imogen, for this interview. Yeah, recover well.
Thank you very much.